Now, ahead of Republic Day, French President Emmanuel Macron is going to be in India. He's expected to land in Jaipur at 2:30 p.m. today. During his stay in the Pink City, the French President will visit a few iconic places and will hold a Shobha Yatra with Prime Minister Narendra Modi. The roadshow is expected to begin at around 6 p.m. Later in the day, both leaders will hold a wide range of talks with each other at the luxury hotel. In fact, on all key aspects of bilateral India-France ties and various geopolitical upheavals as well. On the 26th of January, Macron is going to be the chief guest at the 75th Republic Day celebrations in New Delhi. He would be the sixth leader from France to grace the prestigious annual extravaganza.
The big hug in France, the big hug in India. And now the French president is all set to be India's mehman again, this time as chief guest at India's 75th Republic Day parade. Already en route, Emmanuel Macron touches down in Jaipur this afternoon. The Pink City will play host to a Thursday filled with Indian culture for the French leader. After a touchdown briefing at 5:15 p.m., Macron's first stop will be Jaipur's historic Jantar Mantar.
Prime Minister Narendra Modi and French President Emmanuel Macron will be arriving in the Pink City on a state visit. The duo will be, during the high-profile visit, going to three historical monuments in Jaipur. They will begin their yatra or the state tour monument-wise from the Jantar Mantar.
From there, Prime Minister Modi will join his guest and they will leave for the historic Hawa Mahal. Both are also likely to visit one of Jaipur's famous handicraft shops and even a chai stall during their tour.
French President as well as the Indian Prime Minister will be visiting the historic Hawa Mahal, where a photo opportunity will be happening. The duo can also visit a shop, a handicraft shop, where the payment could be made digitally to showcase how a digital revolution has taken place in India in the last few years.
Next, they'll stop at the historic Albert Hall Museum.
The duo are scheduled to arrive at the historic Albert Hall in Jaipur. You can see rehearsal being going on, several senior police officers being present right now out here. Thereafter, once the visit to the monuments is over, the duo will be taking part in a state dinner at the lavish Taj Rambagh Hotel in Jaipur.
Following the 2-hour tour, the Indian Prime Minister will host President Macron at a state banquet at the Taj Rambagh Palace Hotel. After dinner, both will depart for Delhi for an early start to be part of India's Republic Day parade. The parade has proud French participation this year, with this French army contingent also marching down Kartavya Path.
We are a troop of 130 people, including the band masters. They are from the French Polynesian group. We have our own band over here. It's really a great opportunity for being here.
And Macron will also get a chance to see French-supplied Rafale fighters of the Indian Air Force soaring over the parade during the showstopper flypast. As France pips the United States to become India's second-largest supplier of defense equipment, Macron's presence assumes symbolic importance. Close ties, a strategic relationship, and national bonhomie. As India gets to say, Namaste Macron. Bureau Report, India Today.
The 39-year-old French President Emmanuel Macron is going to be the chief guest of Republic Day. On Republic Day, both Prime Minister Modi and Macron share a warm relationship. Here is a special report.
39-year-old Emmanuel Macron won the French presidential election on the 7th of May 2017, making him the youngest president ever in the history of France. Five years later, though, his centrist coalition lost its absolute majority, resulting in a hung parliament. He formed France's first minority government in nearly 3 decades. It's been nearly 2 years, and in all of his nearly 7-year-long rule, Emmanuel Macron has been able to create a strong bond with Prime Minister of India, Narendra Modi. In his first presidency, while the French Premier paid only one visit to India along with his better half in March 2018, Prime Minister Modi was in France twice. As part of his 4-nation tour, Prime Minister Modi was in Paris in June 2017.
फ्रांस और भारत के कल्चरल रिलेशन एक हमारी साझी विरासत है और आज जैसा राष्ट्रपति जी ने बताया, इसके बाद हम श्रद्धांजलि सुमन अर्पित करने के लिए जा रहे हैं। हिंदुस्तान के 1.5 लाख से ज्यादा लोगों ने प्रथम और द्वितीय विश्व युद्ध में शांति के लिए शहीद हो गए, बलिदान दे दिया। उनको श्रद्धांजलि देने के लिए राष्ट्रपति जी भी समय निकाल करके हम दोनों साथ जा रहे हैं। ये भारत के उन वीर आत्माओं के लिए मैं समझता हूं ये एक बहुत बड़ा आपका जेस्चर है।
A little over 8 months later, when the Macrons came to Delhi, their Indian host took them on a tour to Agra, Mirzapur and Varanasi. While the two inked 14 intergovernmental deals in the capital city. Most important among them were reciprocal logistics support between the respective armed forces of the two countries, joint strategic vision of the India-France cooperation in the Indian Ocean region, and the India-France joint vision for space cooperation. India was hosting an international summit on solar power, and Prime Minister Modi took President Macron to Mirzapur to inaugurate a 100-megawatt solar power park built by the French firm him.He.
Mr. Prime Minister, you made a dream, and we did it. It was about this international solar alliance. It was 2 years ago, it was just an idea at that time, and we decided all together to act very concretely. And today is a big chance.
Nearly a year and a half later, the Prime Minister of India was in France once again in August 2019 at the special invitation of President Emmanuel Macron for the 2019 G7 summit. India was one of the goodwill partners. The two leaders met for a bilateral meeting in the historic Chateau in Chantilly. It paved the way for the India-France roadmap on cybersecurity and digital technologies and 4 other agreements.
यह मेरे लिए एक यादगार पल है। G7 समिट के लिए राष्ट्रपति मैक्रोन द्वारा आमंत्रण, भारत और फ्रांस के बीच स्ट्रैटेजिक पार्टनरशिप और मेरे प्रति उनके मैत्री भाव का उदाहरण है।
Right after President Macron took over his second term, the Indian Prime Minister was in Paris during a 3-nation Europe tour in May 2022. They hugged and had a tete-a-tete at the French President's official residence at the Élysée Palace. It was a meeting that deepened their bonhomie, overcoming an age gap of 27 years. The next year, when Prime Minister Modi came to Paris to attend the Bastille Day military parade, where a tri-service Indian military contingent also participated, he was awarded with the Legion of Honor, the highest civilian award of France.
मैं अपने मित्र प्रेसिडेंट मैक्रो के साथ नेशनल डे परेड का हिस्सा बनूंगा। ये आत्मीयता सिर्फ 2 देशों के नेताओं के बीच नहीं है, बल्कि ये भारत फ्रांस की अटूट दोस्ती का प्रतिबिंब है, रिफ्लेक्शन है.
And they hugged each other at the Champs-Élysées. French President Emmanuel Macron met his Indian friend only 2 months later during the G20 summit at Delhi. They recalled 6 decades of India-France space cooperation. India was basking in the glory of the successful Chandrayaan-3 launch. Emmanuel Macron's return to India within 3 months as the chief guest of the 75th Republic Day celebration reveals the warmth of the Indo-French friendship developed in the decade-long rule of Prime Minister Narendra Modi. He is the second French president to grace as chief guest in the Indian Republic Day celebration since François Hollande in 2016.